What is going on, everybody? G Lead here with Combsy and T Low from Divided Podcasts. We were going to start this show, on time, but we left T Low in charge of technology today.
Relax.
So instead, we got a little abridged version of this show today. But once again, G Lead with Combsy and T Low. We got a couple guests with us. We got our hockey correspondent, Mike Napolitano, Mikey Nips, as we like to come on the show. And we got a guest today from the north side, Mr. Gabriel, coming in with us today, joining us. He's a true good guy because he cheers on the good guys, and that's the good guys up north. It's Cubbies, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get this thing rolling. I'll say what we got going on, and then Tilo's going to tell us our socials, and then he's going to tell us where you can find us. So today we're going to talk about the Crosstown.
Is that what you do?
I'm trying to.
Drive. Come on, dude.
I'm trying because
the problem is we can't trust that you actually told these guys how the show runs.
Exactly.
And we can't trust that, just like behind the scenes, unless the instructions were in Spanish. You didn't know what they were saying, so everything's kind of jumbled right now. So
yeah, you're totally wrong. I'll tell you in Spanish how I really feel once I tell us what you guys tell us the rundown.
Excellent. So in the rundown today, with our teams, we're going to talk about Crosstown because it happened last week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then we're going to talk about training camp. We're going to talk about Bears and Ravens. We're going to talk about preseason week 2, what we saw from our teams, what we liked. And then Brandon's got a story for us about the Dodgers that's going to tie it all together. Now I'm passing it off Tilo so he can tell you guys where you can find our socials.
This is how G leads shows. Now I'm going to respond to Grant's call to action.
Yeah, right.
Follow us on social media.
We were supposed to start at noon. It is 39 right now.
Yo, follow us on Divided Podcast.
What I have to do.
Let me do my job, bro. Follow us on Facebook, Divided Podcast, on X especially, Divided Podcast number 2, again, Divided Podcast number 2, and of course on Instagram, it's Divide Pod, again, Divide Pod. Check us out there. We have weekly episodes coming to you guys. Sports, Chicago sports obviously is our big thing, but give us a follow. We are talking what you guys want to hear. All right, guys. G, go ahead and take it away now.
All right. Not your most favorite moment of the show, Tilo, but you got to get through it. Crosstown series at Wrigleyville this time. We kind of mentioned it when they went to that dump on the south side. They talked about the Sox finally winning a series, and God knows forever.
Too much for me.
And then now they go up to a real ballpark up in Wrigley.
Absolutely.
And they win the series 2-1. The Cubbies do. And the first game had a lot of spectacular moments, including PCA starting the game with a homer and then ending the game with a homer. So let's start right there, gentlemen. PCA, incredible in that series in Crosstown. Brandon, I'll start with you, man. Like, it just seems like this guy's like this guy is on a different level than everybody else besides one player out west for the Dodgers, and he's playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, ever since he told some chick on the south side to SSD, he's been playing pretty damn well. Look, he PCA is definitely the MVP of the National League. We've watched him grow into something that, to be honest with you, heading into the season, once they gave him that extension, I was like, look, if this guy is 15 to 20 home runs a year and a guy who hits 250, 260, you won this contract. But now it's starting to look like maybe he really is a 30 home run a year type guy. Maybe he is a guy who's going to average 30 for a couple, next 5 years or so. And this contract for the Cubs, this contract for Jed looks incredible. I love watching what he did that night against the White Sox, obviously, just because, hey, it's the White Sox. And even though I'm not one of those North Siders that absolutely hates the South Side, like I like to see the White Sox do well. I do love to talk trash when it comes to White Sox fans, especially when they're playing the Cubs and especially when it's Tilo. And all Tilo's done all year long is talk about, PCA's trash. PCA can't do this. PCA can't do that. And then when PCA dog walks him, he wants to go out and tweet, it's all right. We lost to the MVP. I can handle that. We lost to the MVP.
Really
Y'all just
team.
better than the young guys.
Brandon's been
It's a really young team, guys. It's
dying
okay. We have a young team right now.
Yeah, and then they win the one game of the series, and he's just like, yeah, see 3-3, well, because to him it's a series. To him, it's the World Series. To Sox fans, it's their World Series. Sox fans care way more about this rivalry than Cubs fans do. It's just it shows every day. But I will give you this with Sox fans, y'all could leave a mean drop kick off 6 rows above. I tell you that much. Holy hell.
That's wild.
I thought it was just a north side thing. We got some upper deck haymakers going on. This is outside.
This is some crazy talk. I'm gonna let you go and defend us,
I don't,
but
you know,
should we just leave? I mean, what are
No, these weak Cub
acting,
fans?
acting like they don't care about they were all talking about on Tuesday night. Oh, we got to bring the brooms out. I talked to Miguel and Jorge in the Spanish broadcast at the Cubs, and I was like, hey, can you guys just let us win one? And yeah, Grant, I did just say us. And they said, nope, we're going for the sweep. I heard broom talk from Trevor Fonstrom. I heard broom talk from
I'll tell you.
You cared about winning that last game, and you know.
I'll let you guys.
Right.
I'll let you guys
winning
say,
every game. Nips.
I'll let you
We'll
guys
call you
talk.
Nips from now on.
Yeah, Nips. I'll let you guys say your piece and stuff, but I'll explain why the whole like, oh, you guys do actually care about the series. Like, what's this whole like you don't care about us type of thing? I'll explain it, but I'll let you guys say your piece. So go on.
You guys cared enough to not even shake my hand. Yeah.
What? What?
I went into the outfield. I wanted handshakes after there was a fight in that very same section, and nobody wanted to shake my hand.
You just can't blame an entire fan base on that.
It was that serious. It was.
Have
that
you met
serious.
you?
They couldn't even
you probably
shake a hand.
Have you met you? You wouldn't want to shake your hand either.
It was clean. When I shake your hand, it's not clean. But
We don't know where your hands have been.
Oh, you
Those
know where my
Italian hands have been through some things.
All right, resident Sox fan, self-proclaimed biggest fan in the world, Tilo. Let's hear it, man. Let's hear
Look, man.
how the Sox lost this series against the team you hate the most.
You know, they talk about lost this series, but they didn't lose the series. You guys, it's tied.
No,
You have
Tilo,
to-
Tilo,
check
it was
this out.
a
They lost a 3-game
baseball
series.
series. It was
I'm
a
gonna.
3-game
It's my
series.
turn, right? It's my turn. Is this my turn or not? Is it my turn or not? Okay, it's my turn. Thank you.
This is
First
what
of
I'm
all, we
talking
didn't
about.
lose the series. The series
Yes,
is 3-3. Secondly, as much as you guys don't want to, I'm looking at you, Gabe. As much as you guys don't want to admit that this is a rivalry, it's a rivalry.
Oh, absolutely.
This is Cubs Sox. It's 35 minutes apart. We want to kill each other when this series happens, and I don't care if you're like, let's just Chicago baseball. It's a big thing. Third, okay, I don't care how you feel about this narrative that I'm about to give you, but we are playing with house money, and the fact that you had to walk us off twice says a lot. With that amazing payroll, with that cheater on your roster,
Oh, wow.
with that
All right.
pitching staff that
Sure.
that is now back supposedly, in the signings that you had a great jet off trade deadline. You guys had to compete with us. You had to compete. I know it's if, but we were supposed to win 5 out of 6 games. So this Crosstown Classic
We're
was an amazing
supposed to?
classic. Yeah, absolutely. The way we were playing,
Oh my
the way
god!
we were playing, we
Oh
played you guys to the T.
You sound like the guy
You
who.
didn't dominate us. You didn't dominate the White Sox. You had to freaking hustle. You had to inch out these wins, and you needed your God to bail you out so many freaking times, because without PCA,
Whoa!
You guys
whoa,
are nothing.
Whoa!
without
So
PCA,
first of
y'all
all-
nothing. Say it. Say it.
Slow
Without
your
PCA,
roll. Slow your roll, first of all, because you're over here talking about oh we should have won. We should have won 5 out of 6. You sound like the guy in the locker room after they lost. Well, if we only had a few more hits, we
not
would have
mad.
won that game.
I'm not
if
mad.
we had
I'm
only
just-
scored one
I'm
more
not-
touchdown than the other team, we would have won
B,
that game.
B,
Well,
I'm
you
not mad
didn't.
about it. I'm just letting you know that you guys are talking so grand and so like you guys always do. Every Cub fan is this or Wrigley North. That's why teams hate y'all. But anyway, point is
I
that
think you make
Dude.
shit up in your head.
no, believe me, the
I
Brewers
think
hate you,
so,
the
too.
Cardinals hate you, the Yankees
Well,
hate
we
you, the
hate
Dodgers
Brewers,
hate you.
too.
The Yankees
Almost
don't
all
hate
these
us.
MLB teams
Everybody
fans hate
hates
you.
the Yankees in America. The
Okay,
Yankees
it's
and
Yankees,
Dodgers are the
Dodgers,
most hated
Cubs.
team in America.
It's Yankees, Dodgers,
No, it's
Cubs,
not.
bro.
They hate
Cub-
us. They hate
It
us
is-
because they ain't us. That's all I'm gonna say. If they're
Yeah.
hating you, it's a good thing because they wish they were us, and here we are, top 3 team, high market. Of course, they're gonna hate
About
us.
to choke in
All
the
right.
postseason. I can't freaking wait to see it. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was
your
gonna. I
response
was
to my-
saying, let's let's throw it to Gabe. Let's get his thoughts on Crosstown. I want to hear what he had to think about
Yeah,
it.
go ahead, Gabe. Sorry, bro. These
It's
guys
all
get
good.
these guys get me, bro.
If it was the opposite way, I'll feel the same thing. But no, it was great classic. Technically, I was on a cruise during it, but I was keeping
nice.
track. Diehard fan. I can't miss a game. So watching my goat PCA do his thing, 4 for 5 night, 2 RBIs, 2 homers. It's great. You love to see that with that rivalry. I understand what Tilo's saying. We just barely beat them, just got bailed out by our God. But that's what makes the rivalry and the Crosstown Classic so great, that you need those back and forth games. And every game besides the first game of the series back in the South Side were great, or even the second game when the White Sox kicked our butt. It's been a great series. The last game with Edgar Carroll's walk-off, that was a great game. The first 2 games at Wrigley were great. And then just the shutout on Sunday was kind of its little, makeup for it. But it's great for the city. As much as I don't despise the Southsiders, it's good to see them compete and then see the city kind of like, hey, both Chicago teams are doing good. So can't complain, but it did mean a lot to me that the Cubs can win on the north side, because we can't be losing to you guys at our home park, at our neighborhood, because that's our livelihood right there. That's what makes the Cubs, what they are now today. So it was a great rivalry, great game. Good to see our stars come up in big moments with the walk-offs. The Cubs are walk-off kings, 13 of them this year. So
And we're walk-off princes because we're 11. We're 11.
Tilo.
We're right behind you.
Let's go back
trailing
to
right
one
to
of Mikey Nips's guys, right? The Italian, the great Italian Dominic Toretto. It doesn't matter whether you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning.
Winning is a win. Thank you. I am all for that. As a
There you
matter of
go.
fact, barely beat the Packers whenever it was. Touchdown. The didn't matter. We beat the Packers.
Bears are beating the Packers by 4 points or something like that, and you guys are cheering like you guys own the freaking rivalry. So, like, that's the same type of energy, Tilo. So, I don't want to hear it. Let's wrap this segment up talking about Crosstown by talking about the
I'm sorry. What we can admit as a group. I'm
idea.
sorry. Hold on. What we can admit as a group is, I think what Gabe said was very important. There was a great Crosstown. I think both sides of Chicago really got a good series, and baseball's back in the city, man.
Mm-hmm.
We had a moment where baseball was really
too.
big. What was that?
On each side,
How do you feel coming out of your World
each
Series
side.
tied 3-3?
It's not
Ooh,
the
yeah.
World Series.
It is for Tilo.
There will be Game 7.
Guys together.
As a grounded,
This is why I do this beat,
As a
because of you.
as a grounded and sane White Sox fan, I don't agree with the we should have won 5 out of 6, because listen, even going into the May series, I thought for sure the Cubs still had this White Sox number. They're the more experienced team. They were the more like they've been to playoffs already, right? They've got more veterans. And this White Sox team was not supposed to be here. So the house narrative, playing with the house's money, that narrative, that's true. I will agree with that. So, the young guns did show up and show out. I don't know. I think Gabe.
But doesn't that narrative change though now? Like now that they're winning, and now at this point, that narrative has changed because they're no longer the team playing with house money. Now they're the team that better hold on to win the AL Central.
I still think this year it is a breath
sure.
of fresh air, just at the fact that the White Sox are doing this well. But now, yes, going into next year is, I think, where the expectations will lie. But I think Gabe's a normal, sane Cubs fan that sees it as 3-3 rather than just 2-1. Because if we want to talk, they won the series at Wrigley. And then the White Sox won the series at Wrigley.
That's how it is. That's how baseball works, Mike.
That's how it is.
But if you want to look at it as a
how it
season
is.
series,
I would
as
say
a
that-
season series as the whole,
It's tied. Like
tied
I wish
3-3.
Sure.
we got, or at least
Yeah.
won that third final game on the South Side. That was frustrating. I was there working, looking absolutely distraught with customers coming in asking why am I so upset? But yeah, right now it's just this friendly regular season, not friendly, I shouldn't say that. This regular season rivalry.
It's not
But
friendly in the
hey,
bleachers.
when we're when we're competing on the National League and you guys are competing in the American League, then we can start talking, because I can see the White Sox going out and losing to the Yankees in the first round, or I guess you guys get a bye. So whoever comes in to the South Side and plays y'all.
That's how
whoever,
bad the AL is, Gabe.
I want a
That's how
White
bad
Sox
the AL
Cubs
is
World
when the White
Series
Sox
so
are getting
bad.
a
how
first
bad
round
the AL
bye.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, I want a
Not-
Cubs
not to
Sox
get-
World
All right,
Series.
let's
so
put a
bad.
bow on.
I really do.
All right,
Yeah,
let's-
that'd be great.
Let's put a bow on this. Let's put a bow on this by talking about that real quickly, guys. There's a possibility where both teams could realistically have a chance mathematically to meet in the World Series. I know it'd be great for the city, I don't know if it'll be great nationwide. Well, we can touch on that another day, but like, would you guys like to see a crosstown World Series? Would that be good for your emotional
Absolutely.
well-being?
I'll go first, man. I'll just go first immediately. Listen, as much as I would love to see it, I don't think my fandom would be able to take a series. I don't know. I mean, every pitch would be freaking stressful. A ball will kill me. A hit would destroy me. A home run would probably put me to sleep. And then if we lose to the Cubs in the World Series, I complain about G not being present when his teams don't do well, and he needs some time to think about stuff, because that's what you need, G, unfortunately. I think I'd fall into that. I think if I lost to the Cubs in the World Series, but I think if I lost to the Cubs in the World Series, dude, I would need a day.
I would
maybe
need a year.
two.
I would need a year.
You need a month.
If
You
I
need a
lose-
month.
Need a whole year.
If we lose to the White Sox in the World Series, I think I will go back to Florida. I think that will be. I'm getting out of here. I cannot stay in the city. Any Sox fan I see, I will. I can't talk to them. I can't even go near my job because all of my coworkers and my awesome manager Keegan will just never let me hear it, and I can't do it. I seriously can't do it.
I don't want a crosstown World Series right now, and I will say this as a White Sox fan, as somebody who covers the White Sox. I don't think the White Sox have that playoff experience to win this. We could talk about them splitting a season series 3-3, or winning one at home and losing one, at Wrigley. But I mean, listen, I don't think that they're there yet. And if the White Sox were to lose to the Cubs in the World Series in my lifetime, which if that happened, it may never happen again. That'd be the one and only one that we get. I want the White Sox to be ready for it.
I want it to
Brandon,
happen.
last one.
I want the Crosstown Classic. I want the World Series. I want Sox versus Cubs World Series. But at the same time, as soon as they both won the league championship series to create this World Series, I would immediately buy a home outside of Illinois because the city will burn.
Yeah, it will.
No,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. There's no way.
Yeah.
We would need the Bears to play on a random Sunday throughout that World Series for a peacemaker for that to happen.
I don't even think I could watch Bears if that dude. I'd be. Oh my gosh, bro.
That would be. Oh man, can you imagine Bears Sunday? You have Cubs White Sox at 7:00 in the evening with the Bears playing at 12. You get. Oh man,
It's
What
the
a
greatest day in
Yeah.
Chicago sports history.
Greatest day. Bears
So-
Packers.
So the chances of that happening are pretty slim. Like Mike mentioned, it's a very young White Sox team with little to no playoff experience. And while the Cubs don't have the playoff success like they did 10 years ago with KB and Rizzo, they do have a smidge of postseason success, but like we're not going to call them the Dodgers out here, and nobody's going to claim that either.
No.
So I look at it as it would be great for the city of like the selfish fandom of both teams. I think in a national landscape, I don't know if it would attract the same type of fans, because if we look at it like how the Mets and Yankees did in 2000, it was one of the lowest World Series at a viewpoint. Only 18 million per. I think 18 million was the average viewership in that World Series in 2000, and then you look at like 2016, one of the most viewed ones, it had 23 million average per viewer, and 43 or 44 million watched Game 7 of that series. So that's kind of like how, putting a bow on all that would be great for us. I don't know on the national landscape it would be a watch series, but I think it would be fantastic. So
Michael Wilborn, he did say something. Wilborn said something last week. I think we all saw that.
that's why I brought it up.
Yeah. And that narrative, it makes sense to me, but
I don't see it.
but I don't
see it either.
It makes sense, right? When you hear it, but like I really do think this World Series would do better than the Mets
Oh, for
and
sure.
the Yankees.
I think it's us looking on the outside though.
No, but I also do. I think people are going to roll their eyes because, Mets, Yankees. Oh, I guess the Yankees are winning another one, or I guess New York's getting another title.
It's always New York.
Chicago only has 6 titles between the two teams, split evenly once again, 3-3.
Oh, 3-3, Mike? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I, as much as you did say everybody hates the Cubs as much as they hate the Dodgers and the Yankees, people watched, like G said, in 2016 because it was 2 teams that had gigantic droughts. Now, both of these Chicago teams aren't going in with gigantic droughts anymore, but there are still far and few between World Series for these two Chicago clubs.
There's still
So-
history behind those
Yeah,
routes. You know?
and I think this rivalry is more of a rivalry than Mets and Yankees. I think
I
if it
agree.
was,
I agree.
obviously
Yep.
it's not going to happen because they're both AL, but Yankees and Boston in the World Series, just like it was in 2004 when they went to a game 5 or game 7. I forget how many.
Game 7.
Game
Yankees
seven.
were
Was
up
there 7?
3-0.
Yeah, it was the ALCS, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think those series are going to get the views and the watching, and I think it would be great for national if it was White Sox Cubs.
And because I'm a troll, guys, nobody hates the White Sox, but a lot of people hate the
Okay.
Cubs. So you know who the
Don't go
Cinderella
into my-
team's going to be?
Don't go into my
It's gonna be
comment
us.
section. Don't go into my comment section
Yeah.
and narrative out the window.
Let's go to Detroit, Minnesota, and ask them how they feel about the White Sox.
Yeah, okay, that's
Exactly.
fine. Yeah.
All right.
or even
Screw
to
them.
across town.
With all disrespect,
Cubs
screw
do
them.
hate the White Sox. Cubs do hate the White Sox. My
It's not
comment
as much as
section-
you guys think it is.
No,
It's
but
not
my
as much as
comment
you think it
section,
is.
there
I
are
would
some
say
petty
probably-
people.
It's all
in
good.
there.
Yes.
I would probably
During
say
the
if
rivalry.
two or three
Yes,
teams
during the
more
games.
the White Sox
Yes,
right now,
during-
I would say
during-
Brewers one and probably Cardinals and then maybe Dodgers. But
Yeah.
Dodgers, White Sox for me is like right here because at the same time, Dodgers are Dodgers, but I didn't hate them as much as I hate them now. But the White Sox have been hating since I was like 5.
It'll be fun, guys.
Peace be with you. Peace be with you.
Go ahead, G. Go.
All right, we're moving on. Football is back, baby. We talked about it. We talked about the Bears and their injury concerns. I wrapped up the show last time talking about Zay Flowers having that injury, and he's fine now. Both teams, had good week ones for sure. Declan Doyle's offense for the Ravens had over 340 yards of total offense, which is insane in a preseason game. And then also the Bears just absolutely killed the Browns in week 1. The Browns were favored by 3 points in that game, which is just nuts. I guess because Watson and Sanders are, comparable,
Whatever.
I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly. But week 2 did not look too good for the Bears up in Cincinnati. Heard a lot of good stuff in joint practices with how things looked, but Caleb and the starters went out for a couple series, maybe just one for Caleb, and then the others kind of went out for a second one, but it didn't look all too good. And nobody should really take all that serious about how Caleb only completed 2 passes and missed Colson Loveland on a pass.
Yeah.
That stuff does, I was doing the morning show this morning and people were kind of freaking out about it and stuff. I was like,
Insane.
guys,
B, before you,
it's
Brandon, before you go,
week 2. So
I got so many people just not crash, just freaking out over a 27-9 loss.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, the first team played they played 5 minutes. Like, chill, bro.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out who's going to be on the team, right? This is
Yeah.
tryouts. This is basically what this is. So the city of Chicago and people who don't watch the Bears religiously or are not sports fiends, right? Relax, everything's fine.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure this out, especially with, like G had mentioned earlier, like the injuries, on the defensive side is horrible right now. But
Ridiculous.
Chicago, chill. I'm sorry.
it's
Go
on the
ahead.
offensive
Yeah,
side too, man.
And you look at that play that Grant's talking about too, like that overthrow to Colson Loveland.
Wilson, yeah.
First of all, if you listen to what Caleb had to say after the game, he's like, yeah, it's supposed to be a screen route, but they busted the coverage. I saw it and I went to him. It's not our normal read. And then when you watch the route, what he did was he led Colston Loveland. So if Colston keeps running the route and is looking over his shoulder for the ball's coming to him, he hits him, and that's a touchdown all day long. But what happened was Colston turns around because he's not expecting the ball. He knows it's a screenplay, so he's looking to see what's going on and where he needs to go block. And all of a sudden, he's like, "Oh crap, the ball's coming!" And it's an overthrow. It's not like he just overthrew his prime target. It was a busted coverage that he saw. That's what I always say when it comes to receivers and when it comes to quarterbacks and when you're evaluating these things, you got to watch the all 22s and you got to watch these play as to what they're intended for and what is the receiver's route. Understand what they're supposed to be doing, because the quarterback can see things that these receivers cannot. And more times than not, when you see like these really bad incompletions from really talented quarterbacks, those are usually busted plays by a receiver or something that the quarterback sees that the receiver doesn't see in time. And now the quarterback's trying to make a play, hoping that his receiver adjusts, and Colson just didn't adjust.
Yeah.
So I'm
Like
okay with
DJ
that.
Moore, like DJ last year in
Yeah.
the playoffs. Like
Right. That was less of a broken play and more of
That was just DJ giving up.
Yeah,
I think
but
it
I was
more
kind of
close.
thinking about that as Brandon was talking about it, is like my only concern yes, this is preseason, but my only concern is like these kind of hiccups are still happening a little bit because there is still a little bit of that, either that miscommunication or, hey, when one thing doesn't work and we have to change on the fly, that broken play is still just a broken play.
Yes.
They're not completing it still. But that
if it works, it's a great play. But the fact that he didn't go, if he just checks down and goes to the screen route, it's still a good play. But he saw something, and it's a preseason game, so he tried it. So I just think people are blowing it out of proportion. And then when you look at the rest of that game, I mean, I still thought you saw some good stuff from Case Keenum and Miller Moss. Both of them threw for over 100 yards. You're seeing your third and your fourth string, two guys that are fighting over who's going to make the practice squad. It's one of those things where you look at this game and it was never intended. No preseason game should ever be hinged on whether or not you won or you lost. It should be on the performance of your players and what you're seeing from these guys, especially from your backups, because that's what the preseason's for. You're trying to fill out a 53-man roster, which is why, to me, eventually I think you see preseason games go away and you see a lot more of these joint practices, because I think you get more out of the joint practices than you do these preseason games anyway.
I think my biggest takeaway for this game was that the questions about the secondary or the left tackle position for the Bears didn't really get answered, like solidified and stuff like that. Obviously, running back and, within the tackles and stuff like that. And then the linebackers, that's all good and dandy with the Bears. It's just like, you want to see some answers, questions be answered. Like, who's playing left tackle for the Bears this year? Who's going to be starting in place of Kobe Bryant? Because he's not going to be back until like January or something like that, which sucks because that's your biggest free agent signing of this year. And you were relying on him making up for the loss of Brisker and Byard in the back end. So that was probably my biggest takeaway.
Byard leaving is eating me a little bit.
Well, I think you did get answers on the offensive line, though, right? Like, if you watch the game, I mean, they only took 2 sacks in that game. So it's not like the offensive line was giving up play after play. And the 2 sacks that they took, both of them were to Miller Moss. And Miller Moss just hanging onto the ball a little bit too long because he's trying to make something happen, because he's trying to make a 53-man roster.
I would love a healthy Ozzie Drapillo, because that would solve a lot of things.
That's your left tackle. That's your starting left tackle if he's healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Yep,
absolutely.
Are you worried about the AFC North right now? Do you have any?
Are you worried about the Browns?
Are you worried about the Browns?
I'm petrified by Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns right now.
No, really though. Is there anybody in the North you're concerned about right now?
Yeah, I mean the Bengals, they look good on paper, just like every year.
A Joe Burrow-led team you're concerned about? What?
It's the only team you should be worried about, but
that's the only realistic team that the Ravens can be concerned about because I think that the Bengals, even at their worst, they can win 7 or 8 games. And you can't say that about a lot of squads, because like if we say the Cardinals are at their worst, they're like, oh, they're only winning 2 games. Or if the Panthers are at their worst, they're only winning 5 games. Or hey, if the Vikings are at their worst, they're only winning 4 or 5 games, 6 games in that threshold. Yeah. The Bengals, if they're at their worst, they're only winning 7 games. That's a very good mark to be at if you're a competitive football club. So
if Joe Burrow's healthy, they're always a threat, man.
The Ravens are a 14-win team.
But like, when is Joe Burrow healthy? When is he healthy? He's had 3 seasons where he's missed 7+ games.
Yeah,
really even that.
I wouldn't be worried about anybody. G, look, the Ravens are a 13-14 win team with that schedule that they're playing this year as well. I think that they're going to be just fine. And actually, to be honest with you, they might be my pick to win the AFC this year. I think they're that good.
That big of a turnaround, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't call it a turnaround because they were a playoff team.
It's always on paper a thing you can see.
Really
John Harbaugh was a huge problem there.
Right.
Thank you.
It's the coaching, and it has to do with could they ever give it over the hump with some of what they had, and I don't know, kicking issues. And I mean, if Lamar is always Lamar, it's just does he have weapons around him?
So hold on,
stop dropping the ball in the end zone when you hit your tight end in the hands.
Yeah,
literally in the chest.
That's right.
You hit him right here.
G doesn't like to hear that, but B, let me go back to you. So you're not worried about the Broncos at all? You're not worried about the Bills at all?
Nah, I wouldn't be. Not the Bills.
Bills, I don't know. Bills, I would think so.
Come out the AFC?
After last year, don't you think that they're hungry and they're ready to avenge what happened last year?
I mean, they got DJ Moore. Okay.
Plus, yeah, picking up DJ Moore. If DJ Moore actually does well on a team that has a good season, because he's only ever
Mike,
done
I'm
well
gonna-
on teams that have bad seasons.
I'll say something about the Bills, and Brandon could probably follow me up on this. I literally think that their offense and their defense is pretty much a copy and paste how it was last year. There's not a big body threat that can go up and get the ball. You have question marks with who's past DJ Moore and Dalton Kincaid. And then defense, they always deal with injuries. Matt Milano, who is one of the best linebackers in the league, can't stay healthy, and they had to cut him. So that's my thing. Is that they
Are we gonna
copy and paste
disrespect
their coaching
so?
staff too.
Yeah,
They copy
their
and
offensive
paste.
coordinator is now their head coach. It is copy and paste. It's the same offense.
Yep.
Patriots. I mean,
I would say lots of
Drake
concerns. Drake May is not looking the best.
How did they get to the Super Bowl again?
Yeah, tell me about it, please. Oh, they played the Texans. That's why.
20.
How'd they get to the
29
Super Bowl? They played the weakest schedule in the history of the NFL.
That's
how they
fine.
got there.
But I feel like it's a sin that I even mentioned the Kansas City Chiefs and a healthy Patrick Mahomes coming back.
He's rushing.
They're an 8-win team.
He's
I
not-
don't. I
he's rushing
honestly.
way too fast.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. You can't have like this.
That's the question.
You can't have this confidence with them this year because like what you saw out of them last year was really bad, and it's not like their
Had a bad year.
weapons.
They had a bad year.
Their weapons got older, so
Yeah.
Kelsey's not getting any younger. Rashid Rice is still like their best weapon offensively on the outside, and then Xavier Worthy. I like him. I just don't know, like, past like going out and getting the ball, running 4.2 speed and stuff like that. What else he offers?
They also did
besides
nothing to
that.
the offensive line. They did nothing to benefit the offensive line. They didn't made no moves up front, and that was their biggest problem last year. That's why Patrick Mahomes got hurt. And I think Patrick Mahomes is great. I agree with that. But if you watch the numbers over the last 3 years with this offense, they've been on a steady decline, and a big part of that is because of they have no talent up front. They don't have enough to protect Mahomes. Mahomes is always running for his life, and sure, he can make plays happen. We've watched it happen his entire career. But at some point, one, age catches up with you, right? And two, you just can't consistently plan on him making the godlike plays every single day because eventually defenses in the NFL are going to catch up to you. And that's what you've been seeing with the Chiefs over the last 3 years. And that being said, he still went to Super Bowls in 2 of those 3 years. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. But when I look at the schedule and I look at the Chiefs and their failure to, really go up and build that offensive line, I see this team as a 7 to 8 win team. I think that's their ceiling.
You know they're getting old when Chris Collinsworth switches up and goes, now here's a guy that looks like Caleb Williams.
Patrick Mahomes.
And he's off the Patrick Mahomes. You think that window is, I mean, as much as Brandon's talking about, the decline and the age, do you think that window is still open though?
I think what I've been seeing and how the trajectory of the Chiefs has been going, I think they're going to become like the new Patriots where they win like 3 like in their first like 5 years and then 10 years with nothing, and then Mahomes just comes out of nowhere and wins like 3 or 4 like Brady did.
Well, they better put some pieces around them because G's right. B, you too. They're almost the same team.
Mahomes is that
So.
guy. I don't count him
Don't
out.
count. I mean,
No one's discounting Patrick Mahomes and his talent.
But
Everybody's
like
discounting
Brandon said, it's the
every
team around him. Yeah.
It's everybody around him as well. Like the offensive line, the running game. Although I do think they upgraded getting K9, it's not going to be consistent because like if you look at Kenneth Walker, is like, do we like call him a top 5 running back in the league? That's just going to be like Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs and stuff like that. I don't know if we can say that. I mean, I would like to. I like Kenneth Walker. I had him on my fantasy team a couple years ago. He did great for me. But yeah, for the Chiefs and stuff like that, I think the Broncos is good. Bo Nix needs to get healthy. We haven't seen like a legit reason he is healthy and that ankle has made 100% recovery. Defense is going to be the defense. That defense is one of the best in the league, and I don't have any doubt about it. They got the best cornerback in the league, and Pat Surtain. So I don't have any quarrels with that. So
Can we all admit as a group that we are ready to see how the Rams do this year?
I like that. Yeah,
I can't wait to see how they do. I mean,
Biggest
this-
disappointment in the
I'm
NFL.
biggest hater, so I hope they do horrible.
They'll be the biggest disappointment in the NFL. I promise.
probably right. I expect them to fall flat.
Yeah,
hope
they're.
so. I really
I think
do.
they are. I think they win 10, maybe 11 games. They will be a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to be as great as people think. And if Matthew Stafford gets hurt, good luck with Stetson Bennett or Ty Simpson.
Dude,
Have fun.
That's-
Ty Simpson, please.
That is another thing. I don't believe Matt Stafford can pull out what he did last year. I think
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
he's back to being more turning over the ball a lot more often, because that's what happened. That's why he won MVP, because he took care of the ball and he like was just throwing the rock everywhere. So,
Yep.
But he tends to prove a lot of people wrong later in his career, man. He's been
yeah,
Their
There's a lot
defense
of
can get
people wrong.
after it.
Prove
But
that.
that's I look at that. Can that be a team, that just solely is like, 2000 Baltimore Ravens, 85 Bears, where they just lean on the defense that wins them a Super Bowl? That's possible. But I mean, if Matthew Stafford gets, like I said, if he gets hurt, I mean, could you see Stetson Bennett being your Super Bowl winning quarterback or Ty Simpson being your? It's just there's just not enough there for me. And then even at that, I mean, they're still getting old, and who knows what version of I'm gonna forget the wide receiver's name now off the top of my head.
Devontae Adams.
No, the
Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua,
Okay.
who
Yeah.
knows whether or not he's going to be able to stay on the field if he keeps biting women's shoulders. Like we have no clue what the hell is going to happen there. So I just think they're going to be a huge disappointment this year. I think people are expecting too much out of them. I think I think they'll win 10, 11 games, but I don't think that they'll be in the Super Bowl.
I've been dialed into another team that plays out of there too, is the Chargers, and a guy that's probably spending a little bit too much time with the ladies as well is Justin Herbert. But hey, I don't blame him. I would be too.
I like McDaniels as their OC.
Justin
McDaniels
Herbert
as their OC is going to change some things. So Marion Hampton's going to be a dog under that offense.
Justin Herbert needs to perform this year. Like he needs
For
to stay
Madison
healthy.
Beer, yeah.
For Madison Beer, yeah.
No excuses after this
He's
year,
like,
for sure.
if he can't do it, I will.
All
right. Last thing we're going to talk about, Brandon has a little snippet about the LA Dodgers that he wants to bring to our attention. So I'll just throw it over to Brandon for this last piece of Divided Podcast here.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard of Mark Walter or what the hell's going on there, but he just sold his share in the Lakers for $2.5 billion more than what he bought it for last year. But there's also been stories coming out that he actually has been looking for cash offers to buy the Dodgers as well. And there's a couple of stipulations here. One, what he's doing is extremely shady. Like there is supposedly he's in a ton of debt. There's a lot of things going on there behind the scenes that probably too much that we can't really get into. But if he sells, the biggest thing here is there's a stipulation in Shohei Ohtani's contract that if Mark Walter sells the team, he becomes a free agent. And that is huge for the Dodgers. Not only that, but this Dodgers team is the reason why a lot of people believe we're going to have a lockout at the end of this year. And they're changing the landscape of baseball. Now, if you take the thing that's going on with Mark Walter, a lot of these contracts become voided that he signed. And if these players aren't getting their money, good luck with the owners ever getting the players to buy into a cap or a floor with the fact that they can't trust owners are actually going to pay out their contracts at the end of it. This could be a really long lockout. We could miss the entire 2027 season.
Dude, I'm reading here, TWG Global announced it's swapping out $6.5 billion in related party loans on his insurer's books for independent, unaffiliated assets to pacify insurance regulators.
I saw that.
Yes. It's not good.
We talk about the changeover from a possible Reinsdorf to Ishbia ownership and how it can affect one team in the White Sox. This Dodgers move, like Brandon's alluding to, can affect the entire league because this guy is going to go sayonara and then it's going to be left to the next Dodgers owners. But with these contracts changing the scope of baseball and potentially causing a work stoppage next year, that's going to confuse and leave everybody with their hands tied going forward in the MLB as a whole.
And the only thing that helps the owner's case would be if the Dodgers don't win the World Series. If you're watching like the let's say it's the Rays versus the Brewers in the World Series, like two small market teams that are playing in the World Series, that helps the owner's case. Like, hey, we don't have to spend this much money to win. But at the same time, like it just, this is a bad look because what did he do? He went out and spent $1 billion on payroll and now he can't afford the contracts. I mean, Shohei Ohtani's playing for $2 million a year right now. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but he deferred $680 million of the $700 million contract. He's playing for $2 million a year. He took a huge risk, and it's not going to pay off. And players are going to look at that like it is. I'm telling you, it's not going to be good for Major League Baseball if Mark Walters sells this team.
Sounds like what former Islanders ownership did, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because we don't have time. But I'm not saying this Mark Walters isn't worth the money that he's put up, but if he's not willing to pay it, it's just as bad, right? Like you can't lie about your net worth. You also can't lie about, hey, I'm going to pay you all this money and then change the landscape of baseball and dip.
Yeah, I'm tired of
it's pretty wild
playoffs, and now pay the consequences. Now get all these players they can't even pay for them. I think the lockout was probably going to happen before all of this with the signing. Right. I think it's probably going to happen unless like the Dodgers don't win the World Series or a small market team proves everybody wrong. But yeah, I agree. It's going to be a hellhole, and I think it might be longer than just next year. I don't know what is going to happen, and I really don't think. And in my shows, I talk with friends. I don't think the Dodgers necessarily ruining baseball. I think they're kind of proving a point that teams need to spend.
That's true too.
Sure, teams don't have the money the Dodgers do, but you're still damn near a billionaire. You can spend plenty of money on players that have solid contracts, not no $700 million like Ohtani or whatever, but you have the ability to spend money to win. So
they're not taking Mooney. That's all I know.
I don't know about
they're
that.
Not signing Mooney.
They could.
There's no
back to banana ball.
Last thing I will add about that is that the Dodgers at one point, I think in 2013 or something around that time frame, they declared bankruptcy with their TV network, and then they had a fixed price that they would pay for some odd years, and that is how they were able to scrounge up all that money and defer it to so many contracts like Kyle Tucker, like Shohei, like Blake Snell, and we can go on and on about these contracts. So no, I don't agree about the Dodgers ruining baseball. I agree that is the owners of like the Marlins, the A's, the Nationals who aren't spending the big type of money like the Dodgers are spending. But yeah, I think that we could potentially be heading for a lockout in 2027. Don't know if it's going to happen in 2028. I think that people will, go after the MLB so hard that Manfred will force it to have a baseball season in 2028.
And to that point too, Grant, like that point with the owners, like they showed you that they're purposely not spending the money. The owners of the Rays and the owners of the A's, all those owners showed you that with their first time that they came out with their first talks a couple of months ago, and they said that their floor could be $175 million. So if that could be your floor, if you can afford that floor, why are you only spending 70 now?
Exactly. You have Ricketts saying they got to break even. So
yeah, you're gonna spend money regardless of floor or cap. You still have to spend, so you might as well just spend the money you have instead of being restricted on a cap or a floor. I'm sorry, I'll be here all day.
Yeah, Grant, you guys break even.
All right, guys, it's been a heck of a show, and we fit it in with 42 minutes. So we talked about a lot.
Thanks, Steve.
Look at us being productive.
Yeah, no, Tilo.
Yeah,
we were productive.
Nice
we
try,
could have had a lot more time. But anyway, man.
Speaking of Puerto Rican, though, one last thing. Since when is Dominic Toretto Italian?
Is a Puerto Rican hour show. The name Toretto just sounds Italian.
It does.
Say it again. What's Dominique Terrero?
Oh gosh.
Now he's Hispanic Italian.
Hispanic Italian. I love it.
Look, man.
Whatever nationality is.
Before G wraps us up, I think like I said, I know we're running it back to baseball, but really, it's really exciting to see baseball in Chicago, man. Like we're local, we're here. We've been crying for years, other than the 16 World Series for the Cubs, right? Recently, that Chicago baseball has just been awful. So it's just awesome to see it, and I love the back and forth banter between fans, and it's just awesome. I think it's awesome.
Before we go, also on that point, not just baseball, but sports in the city. I mean, we got Kaner back with Bedard. Although he's hurt, but he'll be back.
You'll be hearing a lot from me this year on Divided.
With the Bulls, Bears with Caleb. The city is back. Not to rant on too long, but in 24, one of the worst years in Chicago sports. We were all bad. Bears sucked. White Sox were the worst team in the league. Cubs choked in the playoffs. Blackhawks are horrible. The Bulls are the Bulls. So it's good to see Chicago in general, be this competitive and now have the top stories within all for professional sports. So
G, let him give his platform real quick. G, you do obviously sports. What's your
Yes.
platform?
Instagram, TikTok. I'm trying to get back on YouTube after what I did in school. So follow me on those three. I'll rebrand on YouTube, but Instagram and TikTok for sure. Try to do more live play-by-play stuff. Trying to see how the White Sox schedule lets me do it with all these games I gotta do. But definitely doing that. But more recaps on both platforms.
Yeah,
Awesome.
good Cub stuff. You guys haven't followed him. He does good Cub recaps and reporting too. He does reporting, so he's a pretty dope dude. G, take it away, bro.
All right, guys, that was another episode of Divided Podcast. For Tilo, for Combsy, for Mikey Nips, for Gabe Northside, I'm G Lead. Thank you guys once again for listening and watching Divided Podcast. We bid you adieu.
For Cubs.
Follow us. All right, guys, we're out.